Yes.
How's this helping my mood? Am I going to have a better mood?
You're going to feel more relaxed. So that's a combination of your B's and your magnesium. You're going to feel more relaxed, and these are your happier vitamins. So we don't do medical infusions here. Iron infusions or any kind of antibiotic infusions. The chance of an anaphylaxis is high. We stick with our vitamins and minerals, what we know best. So you can see over there your drip is reddish in color. That's actually from the riboflavin, which is one of your B's. So your B12 and your B complex, those are what we call your happy vitamins. That helps with your mood, it helps with your concentration.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Off the Clock.
How do you deal with stress? How do you handle that?
Coping mechanisms that I have is I go for a run.
Manage stress by obviously being moments like this. Currently saying I'm going off the clock.
Just even a night out.
I'm listening to my favorite music. I go into one of the studios at the gym and I dance.
Some cocktails and rest and just do nothing.
I ground myself spiritually.
The right amount of stress is good.
Okay. Welcome to Off the Clock. Today we have a very special interview with Keri Rudolph, the CEO and the founder of the IV Bar. Off the Clock, it's about wellness, work-life balance on leadership, and also promoting longevity. So what a right spot to do this today. Keri, I see you sitting nice and relaxed there. I want you to introduce yourself the way you like.
Sure. Thanks, Peter. Thanks for having me on the show. My name is Keri Rudolph. I am the founder and CEO of the Ivy Bar Group. I have got 3 kids. One's just finished matric, so I know all about that mental wellness. It's been a rough year. I come from a PR, corporate communications, marketing role for many, many years. And why that's relevant is when I was first looking at starting the Ivy Bar, my first thought was, do I bring in an international franchise? And then I knew it would just be way too expensive and too expensive for our clients. So I decided to bring in my marketing and PR knowledge and literally sat and drew up the logo and wrote all the content for the website. And I was in corporate for many, many years and then decided to start my own company about 8-9 years ago, just to have a bit more flexibility for my kids.
Yeah.
The Ivy Bar was born just over 8 years ago.
So just unpack for us.
Yes.
Why the Ivy Bar? You come from a media, PR environment, straight into the healthcare space. How did it all happen?
All right. So I've always had an interest in health and wellness and preventative healthcare, always been quite active. And then I think the stress of being in a corporate, I got divorced a few years ago, having the 3 kids as a single mom, I think the stress started to take its toll quite a bit. And I used to get quite sick quite often, just, flu and just couldn't shake it. And I remember going to my doctor and he said to me, look, I don't know if it works or doesn't work, but why don't you try jet fuel? And I was like, I have no idea what that is. So I sat in the back of a doctor's room and they gave me a big bag of saline with all the vitamins and minerals. And I absolutely loved the way it made me feel.
That was the switch.
That was the switch. I sat there thinking, this is amazing. I feel fantastic from this, but the experience was so lousy. So I thought, why sit in the back of a doctor's room where it takes you a week to get an appointment? The nurse, sometimes they don't do the drips all day. They struggle to find your veins. It took 2 hours to do the drip. I thought, let's create I call it a Starbucks meets slow lounge experience where you can just walk in and put your feet up, meet a friend for a cup of coffee, work, and get your vitamins and your supplements at the same time. So that's where the idea came from.
Great. I want to just get to understand from you, how much sleep do you do? A lot of people say they do about 6 to 10 hours of sleep. How much sleep do you do?
I get about 6 to 8 hours of sleep. So that's important for me. And it's actually become more important for everybody. Even Discovery Health, for example, is now, they're tracking sleep. So you've got the Aura rings that they're tracking as well. So sleep is essential. And if you're not getting that enough sleep, it's got this negative cycle that you go around. So then it's going to affect your mood. It's going to affect your rehydration. It's going to affect, your exercise. You're not going to want to exercise if you're exhausted. You get moody. Everything goes. So sleep, I get about 6 to 8 hours, and I really try and prioritize that. And I try to go to sleep around about the same time every night.
What time is that?
Usually around between 10:30 and 11 every night. I'll go to sleep, and then I'm usually up at about 6ish.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Do you train? Do you exercise at all? Run, gym?
I do. So I play a lot of paddle, which I really love. Yeah, I love paddle. I do weight training as well.
Okay.
Very important as you're getting older, especially when you now I'm at that menopause age. So the weight, no longer do you want to be skinny. You actually want to be strong, because that's the only thing that's going to help you move into older life, older age, being a little bit stronger. So I do the weight training a couple of times a week. I walk with a weighted vest twice a week, which is also amazing for weight loss and for bone density. And then I play paddle a couple of times a week as well. So yeah, I'm active.
So you mentioned earlier that you've divorced with 3 kids.
Correct.
I hope you're willing to unpack a little bit of that world. How did you meet your ex?
Sure. So we met, it was a long time ago. We met via friends. It was somebody
So it was
introduced to
arranged?
us. So I don't know about arranged, but yeah, so it was staged a little bit. Yeah, so somebody said, have someone to introduce you to, and then I think we were both very into our trail running at the time. So that's how we met, and we got worked together. But unfortunately, it didn't work out. We are still friends though, so that's fine. And very supportive of the kids. So
Co-parenting?
The kids, yeah, we co-parent. We got a 50-50 co-parenting relationship, so that's good. So the kids will be with me for 1 week, and then with my ex for 1 week.
How's that going? Because
Good.
sometimes
It's a long time, yeah.
Because sometimes I'm also married with 2 grown-up kids, and sometimes you find them, they want to be more with the mother, less with me. But in this case, they like to be more with me.
Yeah.
And how do you, make sure that they kind of stick to the program?
Sure.
If it's time for them to go to the dad,
Yeah.
they do
So
that without.
we've been divorced for a long time, for 10 years. So the kids are quite used to it.
So they're into that routine.
They're into the routine, but we're actually also quite flexible as well. So we do stick to the routine. We stuck to it much more when they were younger, which was a lot more important, because the kids need those boundaries. Now that they're a bit older, they're 19, 16 and nearly 11, we're a little bit more flexible. So especially the boys, and I find that the boys tend to sometimes want to be with their dad a little bit more. They play soccer with him, they play pool there. And then my daughter prefers to be with me a little bit more, because she wants to go have her nails done or hair. So, but it's also very important for the kids to be together, all together. So I don't like to separate them, because it's important that they're all with me together, and then they're all there together as well.
So, some parents and people talk about bombing their kids or children with love. Do you ever spend time with them individually? I know you just mentioned that you spend time with them all together.
Yeah.
But do you?
I do. It's important. So I'll often, my older one's now driving, so I'll often just meet him for a lunch, which is nice. And the younger one, we like go to gym sometimes together, or the middle one, because that's what he enjoys. So they've each got their different interests that they like. So I tend to spend a little bit of time with each of them. Holiday now, I'm taking them away, all of us together, which is nice, but we do spend individual time. And I think that's also important, because you want to get to know them, even if it's just a lift home from school, for example, and you're sitting and chatting about how the day went. It's important for them to feel like you've got their back one-on-one as well.
Okay. On this show, we talk a little bit about parenting, about marriage. In your experience, who do you think benefit more in a marriage between a man and a woman?
Sure. Don't want to put my foot in it, yeah. In my next life, I definitely want to come back as a man. I think the guys have definitely got a little bit easier than the girls. I think there's something Look, listen, I think if you've got a good marriage and a good partnership, it should be equal. And everybody's got their roles. And I think the roles are different to what they used to be, that it was traditionally your men were the ones working and the women were the ones looking after the kids. You still see that a bit, but I think that's very rare. Nowadays, things are so expensive. You need to have a double income. But somehow it's still expected, I think, that the woman takes more time out from work than the guys do. The woman's expected to do more of the lifts, more of the homework. I think that's still a little bit of a traditional role, but yeah, it's definitely a little bit easier to be a man, to be the husband, I think.
So what you're saying is, as a woman, you have to obviously get off the highway from work and spend about 3-4 months making sure that your newly born child is grounded.
Sure.
There's a bit of a routine there before you get on ramp, get back to work, whereas a man doesn't have to deal with that.
Yeah.
But do you know
sure.
that today, in terms of parental leave, the law has kind of loosened it up,
Yes.
allowed
yes.
that sometimes a man can take 2 months and a woman can take
You
2.
can now share the maternity and paternity leave. I think that's amazing because it also helps with that bonding for the dad from the very beginning. I think at the beginning, the mom is always the primary caregiver and she's there and the dad feels a little bit left out. And I think that can actually affect the relationship as well between mom and dad. And, if you speak to a lot of psychologists, they always say the worst thing you can do is put your child first. And I know that sounds strange. As parents, you should put yourselves in your relationship first. And if you've got a good relationship, the kids fit into that. And then it's role model to them what a good relationship is. So I think it's nice if you've got that equal parenting, both parents can bond.
Yeah.
And you will go through stages. As the boys get older, they want to be with their dad more. As the girls get a bit older, they want to be with their mom more. It changes. So I think from the very beginning to have that equal relationship and responsibility and bonding is better. But even now, even though I run a business, my kids will still say, "Mark, can you come and fetch me from a friend?" I'll say, "But I'm really busy. Can't you ask Dad?" "No, Dad's at work." I'm like, "But hang on, I'm also at work." So they don't. It's still that perception of mom has more time or mom has more flexibility. But yeah,
And also, I think, they just prefer their mom. They feel safe and happy with their moms, I think.
maybe. I think a lot of kids do feel safer with their moms. I think if the dad's a bit stricter as well, but the dads are the more fun ones a lot of the time. The moms are the ones they turn to if they need a lift or if they feel sick, they trust their moms a bit more. But when they just want to have a bit more fun, they're like, no, dad's much more of the fun one. So it's funny.
Let's talk a little bit about the travel.
Sure.
Do you travel overseas with the kids for holiday sometimes?
I do. I'm actually taking them now. In a couple of weeks' time, we're going away. We're actually going to Mauritius.
Oh, okay.
Can't wait. Just
Beautiful.
to time out for a week, just to go and breathe a little bit, me and the kids. So that should be fun. I don't do too much overseas travel with them. It's expensive. And especially when they were younger, it was quite
But
hard
also
to do
it feels like work.
Yes, it does. It's kind of a change of scenery, but it's hard work. I'd rather, and there's so many beautiful local places to go to. So, easy to rather go to Umhlanga or Plett or somewhere that's a little bit closer and a little bit less expensive. But there's something about an overseas holiday where you feel like you can switch off a lot more and just take that
Getting
time
that
out.
passport stamped off.
Absolutely. And then you have that time out. Peter, can we get you dripping?
Yes,
so we can chat at the same.
So the drip that I'm gonna get is gonna turbocharge me for how many weeks, months, days?
So generally so at all of our Ivy bars, you'll see our registered nurses you'll always see them wearing their epaulets. That's how you know that they are your top level. That's true. You did tell me that. I forgot about that. Do you want to drip me?
Yeah, I can.
So your registered nurse is your top level nurse. They can drip, they can insert an IV up to Schedule 4 without the supervision of. The reason why we check your BP obviously is to get a baseline, so that if you do have a reaction, but also it is to the amount of saline. So if you've got high blood pressure, if you've had a stroke, if you've had head injuries, if you've got kidney issues, diabetic, then we generally do it in 200 mils of saline because we don't want to put too much pressure on. And your vitamins and minerals are exactly the same, the dosage. in your small bag and your big bag. Your big bag just gives you added rehydration and added electrolytes. Exactly.
Water.
So it's not water. We can't put water in your veins, but it is sodium chloride, which matches the pH balance in your body. So we can do that. Oh, you're right there. Can you get there?
We're gonna do this. I like this one. Otherwise, it's gonna be in the way here to eyeball Keri.
But it will be behind you. So whichever arm your veins are best.
Yeah, normally it's good this way.
Okay. We do have a vein light as well.
I don't normally have a problem with the vein.
Perfect.
Vampire is fine. Easy.
They love it. They love you. Easy with the veins. So while looking for your tourniquet, so while the sister's going to hook you up, I'll tell you a little bit about the drip that you're going to get. So I've selected for you the anti-inflammatory drip. And it's an amazing drip. So that has got vitamin B12 and vitamin B complex. Those are your happy vitamins.
So a few weeks ago, I interviewed the CEO of Nespresso.
Right.
And
I hope they gave you some freebies, yeah?
No, normally this is one of a kind. Normally we do this in the studio.
Right.
He came to the studio, so
Okay.
we didn't do it at these coffee thing in Bryanston.
Right.
So he was talking about the modern coffees that have a B12, B6.
Right.
So vitamins already included in your coffee.
Yes.
So you don't have to.
So there's something actually newer called, well, not that new, but called bulletproof coffee. I don't know if you've ever heard of that.
No.
So it's quite interesting. You can actually buy it. It came out of one of the biohackers, Dave Asprey. And if you know the biohacking and longevity space, he's like the godfather of biohacking. He kind of coined the term biohacking, and he's got something called, bulletproof coffee, which is actually coffee that they add butter, and there's a few other things that they put in there.
Ooh, you're going to give me pain.
No, you're going to take a deep breath.
Oh,
That's the worst of it. That's the worst of it.
If I was a baby boy, I'll cry.
You know, it's quite funny. Yeah. So what we do find is that when you're a little tired or stressed or your body, you know, a bit burnt out, it's sore than other times. And it's quite interesting. I mean, I had a drip yesterday because I felt like I was coming down with a bit of flu.
Okay.
And it was also quite painful when it went in. And I know certain times, and for ladies as well, certain times of the month, and if you are a bit sick or a bit run down, your body's tired, you actually respond, your pain threshold is lower. So it can feel a little bit more painful. And then you'll come back another time and you won't feel a thing. It's very interesting. But once it's in, you'll feel absolutely nothing. It is a tiny little prick. It's not the same as when you are donating blood, where there's this big thick needle that they're trying to get the blood out of you. Yeah, this is a tiny little needle, and in fact the needle is taken out. So if you saw what the sister was doing, your needle's gone. You're left with what they call a little plastic gelco inside there. So for those who are really scared of needles, just so that they know, it's a tiny little prick that goes in, the needle comes out, and you're left with this.
Wow.
So it's a good point just to let you know, because when our clients go in, even if you drip every single week, our registered nurses will explain to you exactly what is going in. So you're going to see she's opening the sealed vials. And it's important because, you know, you can go into some places and you have no idea what they're putting into your veins. And you'll say what's going in, and they'll say, oh, it's proprietary knowledge, don't worry. Like, absolutely not. It's your body. You're entitled to know exactly what goes into your body.
Yeah.
So our nurses will explain every single vitamin and mineral. And you must remember, most of our vitamins and minerals are water soluble. So the chance of a negative reaction, an anaphylaxis, or, you know, any kind of reaction is very, very slim. Or overdosing, very, very slim, because it is water soluble, which means what your body doesn't need, you're going to excrete. But obviously in today's times, we're exhausted, we're stressed, we're traveling, like your beautiful trip that you just went to Ireland.
Just came back
a
long way.
Yeah. So your beautiful trip that you've been there. So a lot of traveling, a lot of stressing. We are not eating as well as we should be eating. and we're exercising a lot more. It's silly season, we might be drinking a lot more. So the vitamins and minerals that you have in your body, we are depleting. So we are just putting back the vitamins and minerals to what they should be. And that's why it's considered so safe. We don't do medical infusions here. Iron infusions or any kind of antibiotic infusions. The chance of an anaphylaxis is high. We stick with our vitamins and minerals, what we know best.
Yeah.
So you can see over there, your drip is reddish in color. That's actually from the riboflavin, which is one of your Bs.
Wow.
So as the sister said, so your B12 and your B complex, those are what we call your happy vitamins. That helps with your mood. It helps with your concentration. It helps. Yeah.
So tell me about the mood. I mean,
yes.
How's this helping my mood? Am I going to have a better mood?
You're going to feel more relaxed. So that's a combination of your Bs and your magnesium. You're going to feel more relaxed, and these are your happier vitamins. So your Bs help, it's for the brain as well, but it helps with the release of dopamine and serotonin. And that is what's going to help with your mood. So you get a lot of people report afterwards. It helps with their anxiety, with their depression. So a lot of people come for their drips for that as well.
Okay.
Yeah, helps with the mental wellness and the concentration. So we had a lot of kids in matric and varsity that come and drip. I took my son before his finals and did the drip with him, so that it would also help for his concentration and for his mood. They get stressed, so it helps release that stress.
What did he tell you?
He's done beautifully, I hope. He loved it. He said it really helped him, kept his energy levels up, kept his immune system up. He didn't get sick, which a lot of the kids do when they're writing exams because their immune system is compromised. And we're hoping for some good results. I'd love to say it's all from the drip. It's not. He worked really, really hard.
Okay, did some work.
He worked hard, yeah.
So just off the drip discussion.
Yes.
Tell me about the stress of being single mom and running a business of this magnitude on a day-to-day.
Yeah. It's stressful. That's why I think these drips really help me so much. So single mom it's tough. There's a lot of logistics, where the kids are with you a lot. But my kids are good. And as I said, my ex is really helpful. So that does help. It's good to co-parent. And the stress of running a business, I completely underestimated it. When I started this, my idea was to get out of corporate, which I had been in for 20 years, and to have more flexibility for my kids. And I definitely do have
work-life
that.
balance.
Yes. So I don't know if there's such a thing as work-life balance. I think you're going to drop some balls at some stage somewhere. I've definitely got more flexibility because I don't have to put in leave. I can leave work early. I can go and, watch a netball match or watch a soccer match or fetch from exams, but then I work a lot at night. So my time is my own, which is the beauty of it, but you work much harder. And no one in your company, I've got the most phenomenal team, but no one in the company will work as hard as you because it's not their business. And I don't blame them. You don't necessarily want to work so hard when it's not your business. So everything stops with you. The buck stops with you when you're the owner. And I think that's the biggest thing. So not just the logistics of running around and running it, it's more the emotional toll that it takes, where every decision sits with you. I'm 100% shareholder. I'm the only director. I bootstrapped this business, Pete, from nothing.
So, tell me more about bootstrapping the business.
Sure.
Because, bootstrapping is kind of a big entrepreneurship word.
Yeah.
And sometimes it is taken for granted that you just bootstrap and get going.
Right. So I think there's also this misconception that you have to have money to start a business or you have to get finance to start a business. I didn't do that. I came out of corporate and I started this, and it was in the back of a doctor's room, and it cost me about 40,000 Rand to start. And that's what I had, a little bit of money in savings.
40,000? Did you say 40,000?
So probably that was about all I had. I literally, how do you save with 3 children in private schools or whatever? It's very difficult to save. So I literally took 40,000 Rand and I built it was actually the filing cabinet in the back of the doctor's room. I went to the doctor. He said, great, happy to have an Ivy bar here, but I don't have space. So we go, hi guys. Hi. So we built a little, took the filing cabinet and built a little Ivy bar at the back there. And that cost me probably about 20,000. And then I took another probably 30,000 and bought my first lot of IV vitamin therapy, the actual products. And I remember walking out of the pharmacy with this box full of vials, and I was like, please don't drop this, because it was 25,000 rands worth in this tiny
Of
little box
medication,
like this
yeah.
of medication, of vitamin supplements. So I didn't have the money to do it, and I didn't want to take any loans. I didn't want to get debt. I just, I'm conservative. Being a single mom, I didn't know whether this was going to work or not. It really wasn't anything in South Africa yet. A few doctors were doing it, but we were really one of the first to market in this country.
To franchise it.
Yeah, well, even just doing vitamin drips in a lounge environment was not really heard of.
Yeah, I must say this is cool. I mean, it feels like a holiday already
Yeah.
for me.
Absolutely. And that's what I wanted. I wanted it to be, I call it a Starbucks meets Slow Lounge. It's like a third space. So you talk about your first space, because I was reading the Starbucks book at the time, which I loved, Howard Schultz, Pour Your Heart Into It. And they speak about it as a third space. You've got your home, you've got your work, you've got Starbucks. So I wanted them to have their home and their work and then come to Ivy Bar, meet friends for a cup of coffee, and drip at the same time, sit there and work, drip at the same time. So that's what we wanted. That's what I wanted from that space. And so it was very interesting how it started. Didn't take any money. And so I opened the first Ivy Bar. It was just about 8 years ago. And once it started.
Where was it? What was the location?
That was in Bluebird in Melrose North.
Oh, okay, Melrose.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was in the doctor's rooms there, and that was the first one. We could drip 2 people. It was a tiny little room. And then when it started becoming a little bit more popular, I decided to then go into a slightly bigger space, but still in Bluebird. And then it became really popular, and we had people kind of waiting outside the door. So then we went into a much bigger space, and that's still a flagship. It's still there in Melrose North, that Ivy Bar. Can you taste the drip, by the way?
Not yet.
Oh, can't you? Okay, good.
I'm tasting the water now.
Oh, good. Yeah, now I can taste it straight away, actually. It's the bees. It's almost like a metallic taste, but that's, yeah.
Okay, it's nice and slow.
Yeah.
You said it's going to improve my mood, right?
It does improve the mood. You'll see.
So-
You get definitely a little bit more relaxed from it. We could probably speed it up. I don't know if it's on the highest or not. How are you feeling from that? Fine.
No, good.
Good.
No,
So no, there shouldn't be any pain.
no pain, no gain, no pain.
No pain. There shouldn't be any nausea, any lightheadedness. If there is, and we always explain this to our clients as well, if there's any nausea, any lightheadedness, it's completely normal, and that's usually if it's just going too fast. So then we slow it down.
So tell me, a shop that is really pumping, like this one, looks like it's pumping.
Yeah.
Everybody's chilling, everybody looks relaxed, and except one person who looks a little bit nervous.
Right.
Kind of how many treatments do you do a day? Record numbers
So-
you've done.
So it's funny. I were actually talking about it the other day. Black Friday had to be a record years ago in Bluebird. We did about 80 clients in that day, 80.
Wow.
And that was, we literally had people waiting outside the door, but we had fewer Ivy bars. Now we've got 37 Ivy bars across the country. So we've got options for people to go to, which is great. I'd say probably record would be around about 20, 30 clients a day, and that would be a lot. This is not a high volume business. So it's not like a Woolies or a Pick and Pay that
Yeah.
you walk in and these are more expensive
Experience
gifts.
as
It's the
well.
experience, exactly. And we don't want people just walking in and walking out. We want them to sit back, see it as your treatment. It's your time away from work. It's your time away from kids. Put your feet up, have a cappuccino. We've got a couple of Ivy bars that have got massage chairs. We've got
Okay.
some that have got a massage therapist that can do the feet for you while you're busy getting your drip. And as I said, meet a friend for a cup of coffee or sit there and work, because we've also got our private cubicles. So some of our busier ones will do 20, 30 clients in a day, and others will be less. It also depends on the day, depends on the time of the month. So after payday tends to be a little bit busier. Middle of the month, we find sometimes the numbers go down a little bit. Shame. Are you all right there? Can you get through?
You spoke about Black Friday.
Mm.
Why is it busy on Black Friday? You cut the prices by half.
Yeah, not a chance. It's too expensive, our product. So we don't cut by half. So, but we do usually give free add-ons. So this particular Friday, every year we're doing something different. This particular Black Friday, we are doing double points. So we've got a loyalty program. So you get cash back. So this Friday we're doing double points. So you get more cash back. We are also doing a free compression therapy voucher. I'll tell you a little bit about that. So we'll give you a voucher for your next visit where you'll get free compression therapy. And then we're also doing some free add-ons. So when you come in and do a drip, we can then give you a free added biotin or free added extra vitamin C or glutamine, depending on your needs.
Okay.
Yeah, so we do tend to be quite busy on our Black Fridays. But funny enough, not always. And in fact, in the last couple of years, we noticed it doesn't make that much of a difference Black Friday, because I think that our demographics that we are targeting at RV Bar sits very much in your upper LSM, your 7 to 10.
7 to 10?
Yeah, 7 to 10, maybe 6 to 10. It's people that do have that disposable income because it's not cheap. We do have some cheaper drips. So our most expensive drip is about 1,400, which I think is the one you're doing, the anti-inflammatory. But we do have some drips starting at 300 Rand. And those are beautiful drips. We've also got some what we call a mini drip, a nano drip, which is a half the dose, which is also a bit cheaper. We want this to be accessible for everyone. So we don't want it to just be people that have got lots and lots of money. If you're feeling horrible, we want anybody to be able to walk in and get a drip for 300-400 Rand, which we know is going to make you feel better.
Okay. So today you have 37 IV bars, still counting.
Correct.
What is the aspiration? Where are you going?
Correct. So we've got a lot more that we want to open in South Africa as well.
100?
I don't think we'll get to as many as that. I think we could double the network. We could probably go for 70 in the existing format. So getting an IV bar in a shopping center, in a strip mall like this. We could, we're not in, there's Hermanus and Langebaan and Plet, and there's so many places we still want to get to. But then what I would like to see is doing some pods, where we could actually do smaller little express IV bars and going to coffee shops or going to aesthetic centers or going to doctors' rooms. And then we could almost change our model a little bit, because then you could bring in some more medical type of drips as well. So I think there's a demand. And then I want to go outside of South Africa. So we are about to open our first IV bar in Namibia. That should happen early in the new year. I know it's sometimes considered the 10th province of South Africa, but I think that'll be good. It'll be a soft landing for our first one outside of South Africa. And then there's quite a bit more places in Africa, and that's where I wanted to pick your brain, because, you're the expert when it comes. You've just written your amazing book, Winning in Africa. So we had a little chat earlier, and I really appreciate your guidance of where to open in Africa.
There are a lot of opportunities. I can help you win in Africa in terms of
Please.
Selecting the right countries, probably the sites and all that. Which
Thank you.
have you ever thought about IV bar, kind of different iterations of IV bar pop-up,
Yes.
IV bar corporate?
Yes.
Because Off the Clock is more about work-life balance. It's about CEOs, it's about leaders.
Yes.
How do they keep the balance?
Right.
What is the workplace like for them? Is it like hell, or is it a great place to work for them?
Stressful.
So, think about all these ideas, because most corporates or companies create wellness days.
Yes.
Or you can, be the first one to change to create the wellness hours, where you pop up in I don't know, Medtronic down the road. It's a corporate medical company, or a, I don't know, BMW down the road, and do the afternoon of this, because of drips.
Sure.
On a Friday afternoon, or a Monday afternoon, when really people are facing a heavy week ahead of them. So I guess your R&D or development team will think about all these ideas and test them out.
For sure. So we actually do corporate wellness quite a bit. So we do concierge. And
Okay.
most of our RV bars will have a concierge team where they will go around to
Okay.
people's homes, to hotels, to companies where we can go and drip people there. We do get involved in wellness days as
So
well.
you do house calls?
We do house calls, absolutely. So we do house calls. So if people are too sick or too busy or too hungover or whatever their reason is and they don't want to leave the house, even some celebrities, if they prefer the privacy. So we do house calls.
So how much will be a typical high and low
like a call?
cost of house call?
So we usually charge a 500 Rand call out fee, depending on how
Okay.
far away it is. So if it's very close to the RV bar, 300 Rand call out fee, and then the drip will be the same price. If it's further than 5 kilometers away, we'll charge a 500 Rand call out fee. And that's not per person, that's per call out. So if you've got a whole family that wants to drip, or maybe it's a whole lot of guys after a bachelor party, there'll be one call out fee of 500 Rand, which they can share, and then the rest of it will be the normal price of the drip. So we do that. And then the corporate wellness, it's actually worked very nicely for us. We do a lot at AfriHost, I think Samsung. We aligned with October Health, which is that app. We did one at Gibbs recently.
Okay.
So that was really nice. Cliff Decker Hofmeyr, we do quite a few of them where we go and we can either do the executive wellness. So it's your executives that we do the drips for, or the company will subsidize it and we'll drip everybody there. So, so it works nicely. So we do more of that. And in fact, a couple of our RV bars now, they've bought an old ambulance. There's one in Willowbridge and we've got someone doing it in Joburg. And they've turned it into an RV bar, a mobile RV bar. It looks exactly like an RV bar. It's gorgeous. It's got the chairs in there. It's got the grey walls. It's got the brick cladding. It's got the wooden floors. Literally, the greenery that you see here in the RV bar, it looks exactly like an RV bar, but on wheels. So we go and do those kind of trips. And in fact, they're going down to Plett.
Are those corporate ones or?
So it can be for anything.
Individuals?
So it's owned by an individual. So I mean, by the franchisees. Yes, we don't actually have any company-owned stores at the moment.
Oh, really? Where do you do your training then?
So we usually pick specific RV bars to do the training. So depending on, or otherwise in the actual RV bar. So if we know that they've got a new nurse that is coming to the Waterfall RV bar, for example, our head trainer from head office will come here and train the nurses here. Absolutely. And if it's a new RV bar that's opening in a different area, we will select an RV bar closest to there, and then we'll do the training. So we do quite a bit of training here in the Waterfall one because it's a beautiful RV bar, as you can tell, an amazing team. And Lucy, our franchisee here, is just fantastic and always loves it when head office is here as well. But we do our training at various RV bars. Yeah.
So, I mean, earlier we spoke about going to Africa. I know we're in Africa already. You mentioned about Namibia.
Yes.
You thought about Mauritius?
Would love to go to Mauritius. I think in Mauritius, what would work well would be the concierge, that you go around from resort to resort. And that, I mean, you've got a lot of South Africans, but a lot of people coming from the UK, a lot of Germans coming in. So there's a lot of money there. And people overseas are much more familiar with this than South Africans. Here we eat, sleep and breathe this at RV Bar. So we think everybody knows about RV vitamin therapy. But actually there's, you go to a bar and you chat to people and you'll find that you're feeling all right there. You want to speed it up?
Yeah, I think we should speed it up.
Okay. Can we speed it up? Thanks. Yeah, we'll get you to speed up there. You can just open it on full.
Yeah, this is Joburg. Time is money. Cherry needs to get going.
Yeah, there we go. And if you want to, there we go. If you want to straighten your arm just a little bit.
I think it's going straight to my...
There we go. Feeling comfortable? Yeah, there we go.
That's on a turbocharge now.
Yes, yes, no, it's better. We always start a little bit slower just to make sure that you don't have any side effects like the nausea and that. And also we want to make sure that you've eaten before. I don't know if you have eaten. I hope so.
I had a nice breakfast.
Oh, good. Yeah, it's always better that you don't feel nauseous while not everyone does. Probably 1 in 100 people will feel a little nauseous when they are dripping. So we prefer people to eat before and then not go too fast.
So, Keri,
yes.
Any regrets? You've been to hell and back. Great life, great career, great switch. Looking back.
Sure, lots. Yeah, listen, divorce is hard. I think people underestimate it. I think that yeah, it's hard being a single parent, but you fight through it, and I think you kind of look back and you amaze yourself with what you're capable of doing every day. Business wise, you know, bootstrapping from nothing and growing by franchise
That's brave.
was brave, absolutely, or stupid. I'm not sure. We've got the most amazing franchisees. We really do. They've helped us grow this network, but it's also very, very difficult. And you grow a little slower, not by geographic. Obviously, your footprint grows quicker, but in terms of innovating and doing new things at the Ivy bars, sometimes it's a little slower because obviously we need to get approval from the entire franchise network. So you'll find a couple of mom and pop shops that are doing the vitamin drips might innovate a bit quicker and bring in some new products. Some of them can be cowboys, and you've got to make sure that it's safe.
Kind of guide them through, yeah.
Absolutely. But with our franchisees, when the franchisees are doing well, they're always on your side. If a franchisee is not doing great, it's a difficult relationship. So this year particularly, there's been a few franchisees that I'm feeling a little battle fatigued. Like that's the only word I can describe. There's been fights, there's been some legal issues, because some people shouldn't be franchisees. That is the truth. And if you are too entrepreneurial and you've got ideas and you want to do things your own way, then don't buy into a franchise. A franchise is there for a reason. It's a business in a box. We've tried and it's not to be controlling. It's
business in a box.
It's a business in a box. And obviously everyone's going to bring in their own flavor in different cultures and different areas where you are. But in terms of the systems that we've got in place, you need to comply. And ours even more so because it's medical and pharmaceutical. It's actually what I call a hybrid. It is pharmaceutical and it's retail. So you're in a shopping center, you walk past, people can come in and just drip, but it is the pharmaceutical and medical side as well. So it's important that our franchisees comply with all of those regulations. And sometimes they don't want to, bring in a new product, or they don't want to comply. And then it's a bit of a fight, which kind of takes its toll a bit when all you want to do is bring in beautiful new products and services to make sure that you're innovating and that our clients can, we call it look, feel, and perform better. That's what we want.
Just want to take you back. You said I'm in two regrets. Divorce has been very difficult, and I do have a personal story to tell.
Yes.
The impact on children when, that day came to say, look, guys, we're going different ways. How did that go? How did they feel? What did they say?
Yeah, so the little one was too young to know. Now we're going to do your ALA, just by the way.
Okay.
And we can just put it on full straight away, so that should be
That's
fine.
cool.
Or you can switch it to 100 if you want. I don't know how you're doing for time, Peter. Are you okay?
Yeah, that's fine. We can do 200 and
Okay, we'll just put it on quickly.
put it on.
So here we
full
don't
blast.
need to re-prick you. It just goes into a new bag, so you'll see what the sister's doing there. So the reason being is your alpha lipoic acid is a little bit different. We don't combine it necessarily with the vitamins and minerals. You keep it separate, and that's why it's administered in a separate bag.
Okay.
You'll see that's flashing. So we find it also more effective when it's administered in a separate bag. So the alpha lipoic acid is a more recent one that we've added in, and it is absolutely beautiful for energy levels. They use it a lot for your diabetics because it helps maintain or bring down your blood sugar level. And the sister will explain to you more as well, and used for neuropathy.
But I
as
guess
well.
you did
No?
that part.
Go
so
for
this
it.
is the alpha lipoic acid.
Okay.
So it's also an antioxidant.
Okay.
So it also helps with controlling the healthy blood sugar. Also repairs damaged cells and reduces those radical toxins in the system as well.
And it will improve my mood.
So it's 2 helps.
Good.
Yeah. So for people that have got neuropathy, it's a huge help with that as well. So if you struggle with your nerves, especially like in the extremities, your fingers and your tipped fingers and your feet, with that pain and the numbness and that, thanks sister, like that pins and needles. This is something that helps really beautifully.
I think, back to the whole regrets and stuff. I remember when my son was 12 and I had a real big argument with the mother, and he was around and listening. And normally he would be doing this interview with me. He's
Right.
not here. He was going to tell his side of the story. But I remember him saying to me, when we had a one-on-one, and saying, "Look, I want to talk to you guys."
Yeah.
You know,
And they play each other up. They
yeah.
play us up against each other.
Yeah.
Oh, but dad would be okay with it, or mom said it's okay.
And then he eventually spoke to me and said, "Look, you guys, you need to stop what you're doing. You're gonna just end up splitting up, and I'm the one who's gonna suffer, and this and that." It's like, I was at awe with what he was saying, because I think he had the foresight to see, how this is gonna impact him,
Absolutely.
and the courage to intervene and say, "Look, slow down.
Yeah.
The way it's going is not going to end up well."
Yeah. Learn to
And
communicate properly. Yeah.
and I still thank him for that
Absolutely.
talk.
Kids are
because
a lot
just,
more. They're wiser than we give them credit for. They,
yeah,
they're
I
very
mean,
mature.
I've seen that. Obviously, raising my kids, I was very close to them, having been in the medical space,
How many
changing the
kids have you got,
nappies
Peter?
too.
2 kids.
Changing the nappies, the feet, and all that. And even the way I remember when they were small, taking the Panado syrup, which was like making them sleep well,
Yeah.
pain go well. They know, and still saying, the green medicine, and I need that stuff
And it was
back.
delicious, that
It's
syrup.
like, yeah. So,
Mm.
so moving on, do you have any questions for me?
So, it's been great to chat to you and get to know you a little bit better. I think we've spoken a lot about Africa because you've obviously had a lot of experience in Africa, and I appreciate that. And we'll definitely pick your brain more about where we should go and what's
Yeah.
going to be best for us. Because I think people have, you probably know offhand of some businesses that have really not worked when they've moved outside of South Africa. I'm not sure if there's any that you can give me an indication of, because sometimes maybe staying in South Africa is the best move. I just don't want South Africa to become saturated with our Ivy bars. We can't have an Ivy bar in every corner. It's not the same. We don't have as many people, that can manage that. It's not a Woolies or a Pick and Pay that you need thousands of people that walk in every month. But maybe there's a case study for staying right here and not looking outside of South Africa. I don't know what your thoughts are on that. See, my whole thing is I want to get to more people. Never mind expanding our footprint. I want more people to get the benefits of preventative healthcare, holistic wellness, longevity. I want more people to feel better.
Look, first of all, thank you for getting the book. A lot of that is in the book on the 8 moves in terms of the do's and don'ts.
Right.
I wrote the book from having been on the road over 40 countries on the continent, 44 to be exact.
Right.
Getting things wrong, getting things right. And there are many examples of South African companies that went to Africa and got it wrong and came back reversing. You all know the story of Shoprite Checkers in Nigeria, 25 stores. Now they're selling them on to somebody else. You know the story of Tiger Brands, the deal that they tried to do with Dangote, flour.
Right. I don't know that story. No.
So the famous brands trying to, do the Africa thing.
Right.
There are many examples of kind of a botched, adventure to Africa.
Sure.
And in my view is obviously it's been probably poor feasibility studies and checks.
Right.
Not taking time to try
They haven't
to
researched it
understand the
properly.
market and customize. In one of the moves, I talk about the partnerships. I talk about, what is good enough to market, what is good enough to Africa. So not every product is fit for purpose. You need to customize, and you've seen it. And I think if I look at Ivy Bar and hearing what you're saying, having to make it pop-up, concierge, ambulance moving around, it's more dramatized, but it's serving a purpose. So those are some of, kind of a menu card that you can develop, but the menu card needs to resonate to a
The
market.
local people
Yeah.
in each industry,
Yeah, in
absolutely.
terms of what they need. And I don't know, you probably need to do a deep dive. If you're going to Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, Rwanda, even Ethiopia or Nigeria, you need to understand
Yeah.
even the vitamin combination. Fortunately, vitamins are, say, drugs, supplements are drugs.
Yes.
They are kind of go more or less the same everywhere.
Yes.
You may have to adjust the dose or add something and make sure
Correct.
that it's customized.
Yes, absolutely. Depending on
and
the culture.
yeah,
And
the
maybe a
design.
popular drip or a drip that's not popular here might be popular there.
Exactly.
And even here, I mean, there's certain areas where you're going to find a drip that's really popular, and in Cape Town, it's a completely different drip that's popular. So it will be interesting to have those learnings there.
So, I mean, it's funny because even South African businesses still get it wrong here when they go from province to province.
Absolutely.
Because you come from a marketing background, PR background.
Totally different in different provinces.
But I mean, exactly. So, and I always laugh with, and I was laughing with Greg Solomon, a good friend of mine, because when I was traveling around, I'll try McDonald's, say in Limpopo, and then I realized that all the chats on the wall are written in Zulu.
Right,
I was
interesting.
like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's an American company. Yeah,
but I mean,
you have to.
the language there is not Zulu. Somebody kind of missed that.
Is it Xhosa? I can't even pronounce. Sutu.
Limpopo is
Sutu,
most
Limpopo,
not
Sutu. Okay.
begging, vendor and Shanghai.
So they translated it to the wrong language there.
Somebody kind of missed it out.
Wow.
Or they just made posters for everybody to say it's common, because sometimes you kind of take things for granted and say that. So
Sure, that's interesting.
as you read Winning in Africa and as you talk, you'll see that I mean the edge to want to move into Africa need to be accompanied by proper due diligence, feasibility checks, and all that before you dive there. Otherwise, you can be in a reverse gear very quickly and burn a lot of money in the whole thing. So,
and find the right partners there.
Exactly. Incidentally, sponsor of this podcast is Cash Converters.
Okay.
They've gone Africa. They started with Nigeria.
And how's it going for them?
I think so far so good.
Okay.
They're trying to do things right there. I think they got the partner is a guy from Nigeria. Understand the lay of the land, how things work there,
which is exactly what you need.
And hopefully they get it right.
Yeah, that's what you need. You've got to have somebody a local in each of the areas that knows. Because also with ours, I mean, it's not like some people walk past. We do get a lot of walk-ins, but it's a destination and people need to understand what it's about. And you got to market a lot, especially in a new region or a new area where people may not have heard about this. So you need someone who lives there and knows that can go, you're almost done there. Yeah. Go to the local running clubs, go to the local paddle clubs, really get people involved in the community. Yeah, that's the only way you get that word of mouth.
Certainly.
Yeah. Oh, it's interesting.
Any more questions, compliments?
Your side. So how old are your kiddies?
So 28 and 32.
And what do they do?
My son works at Gibbs.
Okay.
At a business school. Can study forever.
Okay.
And my daughter works at a Visa card. She's been in the payment space forever. She's an economist.
Okay.
So she's kind of like that type of the world and all that. Incidentally, when I started doing the podcast, I was with my son, and then my daughter just saw us having fun and said, "Look, I want to join."
Okay.
I'll kind of playing a head girl and saying, "I will choose the ones I want to join."
Yes. It's nice that you do that together. It's a good. They're interested in what you do. Shows you interested in them. I think it's great. And your wife? What is your wife do?
She's a lecturer, but she's not lecturing at the moment. Kind of in a teaching environment.
Okay.
which I think brought a lot of balance when raising them up in
Mm.
terms of her trying to make sure that they just do the work.
Mm.
They can't cut the corners and
No,
checking them out.
absolutely. And
Sometimes you look back
yeah,
and realize that feel like very small things, but help everybody in check to cross the line.
yeah, absolutely.
And you know, they're so different, my children,
Mm.
in personality,
Mm.
in the way they see things and approach things.
Yeah,
But the good thing is they love each other, they're connected.
they're close. Are they all in Joburg, your kids?
They're all
They
in
both.
Joburg, yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. It's good. My older one's going to study, he wants to go do a BCom, either BCom accounts or accounting science at WITS next year.
Okay, then.
So, yeah, he's very diligent. Head down. I said, take a gap year. You know, do you want? No, he's not interested. He
Just wanna
wants
keep
to. He
going.
wants to keep going. He wants to get his degree. He wants to work. So he, yeah, he's going to be going off to WITS next year, which will be good. He's actually heading off to Rage. You know, all the matric Rage. They're all heading
Oh,
off on
no.
Saturday. Yes. Got to get him a drip before because that rage rot is real. But he doesn't drink. It's funny. He is not interested one bit. Not. He's just he doesn't like that feeling of being out of control, and he doesn't like the taste of alcohol. So he won't drink.
That's good. I mean, I remember my son was a big thing with rage,
Yes.
wanting to. Thank
Well
you.
done.
Wow.
So I love this ALA drip, and I'd love you to let me know how you feel afterwards. For me, what it does is I get this absolute brain clarity from it. Like literally everything feels a little brighter and everything feels a little clearer.
I think she's trying to get me addicted to this. But I have it every week.
You love the benefits of it.
I love it. Yeah, no, I love the ALA. I must say, it really, it just you feel so good from it, like so clear from it. You know, that brain fog is a real thing, especially this time of year. We overloaded. You know, there's this compounded. It's exhausting the entire year, and you're always on with digital. You know, you've always got your phone. You're always on email. You're always on WhatsApps. You actually just don't get a break. It's exhausting. So that brain
Yeah,
fog.
it's very true. I mean, I'm very prophetic on these things. I'm forever going. I mean, I can imagine the podcast, mixing digital stuff,
I'm sure, and all your
social media,
yeah,
and now the book.
it's a lot.
But
It's exhausting, and that's why. So this is gonna. I know you've just done your book launch, and it's been a heavy couple of months. I'm hoping this is going to rejuvenate you and refresh you a little bit to keep you going.
hope so.
I hope so too. So yeah, you'll
Come for more if it's not enough. Take
it's like give me more, give me more.
take a double dose.
Yeah, no, it's you'll feel good from this. I have absolutely no doubt. And it was
So, sister, thank you very much. Keri, thank you very much for having me, and
Peter, such a
I'm
pleasure.
thanking you for agreeing to do this interview on Off the Clock.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you.
We'll stay in touch.
Absolutely, and I'm glad you came here. I know that you usually do this in studio, but it was important for you to, first of all, I wanted you to experience the drip, which is always great. And it's always nice to do it in the space where it all
Yeah,
happens.
this is one of a kind for us.
Yeah.
We probably want to try and do this. It's been, real and live in where care is taking place.
Yeah, yeah. Good.
Incidentally, when I launched the book, we've been talking about the Gamba Walk,
Right.
because the book will talk about the experience that I lived. When you do quality checks, you walk to where, quality happens.
Right.
So this is like a Gamba interview,
Okay.
being interviewed where action
Where
is
it all
happening.
happens.
Yeah.
Absolutely
So,
good. Well, I'm glad you got to experience it. Thank you for having me on your podcast.
cool, Lusani.